So this is where the previous video stopped. We run it, and the first line, the second line here, converts hello world to all uppercase with the dot upper, and the second converts it to all lowercase as shown here. And the last thing we're going to do on strings here is to introduce the strip function. So if you use the strip function on your string, so my string.strip, open and close parentheses, what it does is to strip out all blank characters. So all of these blank spaces will be removed, and the blank spaces after the hello world will be removed. So it takes out blank spaces before and after the regular characters. So this blank space between comma and world will not be removed. That's within the string. It's leading and tail blank spaces that get removed. And when you run this, I was in the wrong place. You click within the cell and run it, and then it prints out hello world. It has taken out all the spaces before it and the spaces after it. It has stripped it out of the blank spaces. And now we move on to talk about lists. So list is a collection of data which is ordered and changeable. And you will see the word mutable a lot in this section of the course. So mutable means that data type can be changed. So list is changeable, it's mutable. It's also ordered, so you can refer to elements within the list, as we will see shortly. It allows duplicate members, so you can have, say, apple occur 2 times in a list of fruits. You can have integer 2 occur multiple times in a list of integers. It is mutable, meaning the elements can be modified and placed without creating a new object. It is commonly used to store homogeneous values like strings. So you can have a list of strings, you can have a list of integers, you can have a list of doubles, but it's also flexible enough to take multiple data types within it. So you can have a list that will contain integers and strings and floating point precision numbers and so on. And then indexing lists is similar to indexing strings. So remember, indexing starts from 0, right? Same deal here. Indexing will start from 0. You can get the first member of a list by grabbing the index at 0 with a square bracket, just like we did in the strings, and you will see that shortly. So it's one of the 4 collection data types in Python. The others are tuple, set, and dictionary, and we're not going to use set in this course. We're going to focus on list, tuples, and dictionary among the collections. So let's keep moving on. So this is how you define, this is one way to create a list. Open square brackets and separate out the items by comma. So this is a list of 4 integers. You can print the list, and then you can get the type of the list. And let's run this real quick, and we get 1294. That's from the print my list. It prints out exactly what's stored in the list, and then you can find this data type with the type function, and it tells you it is a list. The list can be made of strings. Again, square brackets around the items separated by comma tells you it's a list. You can print the list. It's going to print exactly what is stored in the list. This is the indexing, right? It starts out at 0. So you're grabbing the first member of the list, which is what? There are 3 elements in the list. So the first member is at the 0th index, and that's apple. So first, this line, the print fruit list, will print apple, banana, cherry. And the second line will print apple. Negative indexing. What do you think that will do? 1 would have grabbed the second item, right? Because it starts at 0. But -1 just jumps to the very end. So it's not the end -1, it's the very end. So if you do fruit list index at -1, you will be getting cherry. So you can see how this looks very much like your strings, right? Indexing list is similar to how you would index strings. Another list, a much longer list, right? Containing more items. You can print indexes from 1 to 4. So what will this do? Remember, it's just like strings. So indexing will start from 0, right? So 1 means you are starting from banana, second item. And where do you get to? Do you get to number 4? No, right? It's basically will stop at 3. So it will stop at the 4th members. This is 0, this is 1, this is 2, this is 3. It's not going to print out 4. It's going to stop at orange. So 1 to 4 will be banana, cherry, orange. And we can run that, and so you can look at it, banana, cherry, orange. How about -4 to -1? So here you are working from the right instead of counting from the left. So the mango is the last item, right? So that's -1. But again, remember, the second item to the right of the column, which is this guy, I mean the item to the right of the column, the code never really gets there. It stops one short of that. So because you have -1 here, it's not going to get to mango. It's going to stop at melon. And melon is technically -2. So -3 will be kiwi. Orange will be -4. So it's going to start out at orange and stop at melon. So you're going to have orange, kiwi, melon, which is precisely what you see right here. Is that clear? -1 is the last item, but when we index over a range, it's not inclusive of the upper limit, so it won't get to the last item. So it will stop at melon. The last item is -1. This is -2. This is -3. This is -4. It will start at -4. And that's how the list works. If you ask for fruits list at index 1, that will give you what? It will have given you banana, right? Because it starts at 0. It would have given you banana. So now we are typing in, we are providing a string black orange, and we will store it into the index at 1. So index at 1 is banana. So banana gets replaced with black orange. And when you print out the list now, it will be apple, black orange, cherry, and so on. We can verify that right here. So banana goes away, black orange takes its place. Actually, that's here, 65. So we move on. We can append more members at the end of a list with the append function. So if you want to put items at the back end of a list, use the append on the list. The list is fruit list, fruitlist.append orange. So it's going to put orange right after the mango. And because we already ran it, you can see the results. It's the entire list with orange at the back end. You can also remove items from a list using the remove function of the list. So the name of the list dot remove. You remove cherry, so it's going to take out this. Remove melon, it's going to take out melon. Remove kiwi, it will take out kiwi. Remove orange, it will take out orange right here. But there are 2 oranges, so it's going to start out from left to right, and it will remove the first occurrence of orange. So the orange which ends the list remains in place. And when we print the list at the very end, you wouldn't see this orange. This orange will be gone. This cherry will be gone. What else will be gone? The melon will be gone. The kiwi will be gone. So these 4 items will be gone. So we'll be left with apple, black orange, mango, orange. And then we can run that. Apple, black orange, mango, orange. Exactly right. So you should be able to look through code and figure out what it's going to print out. That's how I like to set the questions, just to help you improve your understanding of Python programming. We move on. Insert elements into a list at specified position. So we can insert an item into index number 2, which will be the third item, right? And then we can print it out. So what we expect is a new item shows up between blackcurrant and mango, because that will be index number 2, because it starts at 0, 1, and then number 2 will be here. You can clear a list, and then there will be nothing stored in the list. The list still exists, but it's empty, and so it will print out empty square brackets. And then you can delete a list, and then the list ceases to exist. And so we can run this. It's Control Enter, Control Enter, and the first line where we insert at a particular point inserts melon at this point, like I said, and that's melon showing up between blackcurrant and mango, and it's showing up at the second at index number 2. Index number 2 is actually the third position, right? And then when you clear, it takes out all the items and you're left with the square brackets. And when you delete, fruit list no longer exists. So if you try to print fruit list now, it will say the variable does not exist. It will be an error, a syntax error. There are two different ways of creating an empty list. You can use the list function like so. So the variable name equals list, and you open and close the brackets, and then when you print it, it's going to be an empty list just like this. This is another way. Just set it up, set it equal to an empty list like so. So these two things do the same thing, and when you print both of them, new list and new list 2, you get empty square brackets, which is an empty list. And then you can fill it up by appending items to the list as needed. And I'm going to stop the video here and continue in the next video.